Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best you're ever around.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Hey, Paul, you like
Yes.
candy?
I do. I like candy.
I
do.
like candy, too. There's all kinds of candy I love. What's your favorite candy?
I like Pez.
You like? Oh, I love Pez.
Yeah.
I love the little things that the Pez comes out of and stuff.
Yeah.
They are so cool. It's awesome. You know,
It's really good.
it is very good. It's not like Charleston Chew.
No.
But you know.
Charles, you know what? We're interviewing Pezband this week.
We are.
Yeah, by what a coincidence.
You know what? That's probably our payday.
Oh, I see where you're
That's
going with that.
probably going to
I
be
see
our
where
payday.
I see where you're going with that.
I am going with that.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. I'm going with that.
Next week we interview Charleston Chew.
All right, Charleston Chew sounds good. That's it. Maybe Milky Way, maybe Mr. Snickers. You know, maybe the M&Ms. We can do all the M&Ms.
Okay, I think you're getting out of control now.
I am a little bit out of control.
All right, let's get to this week's interview with Pezband.
Pezband, let's go.
All right. Hey, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
with the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
This week we're meeting with Mimi Betinis and Mike Gorman. Mike Gorman, sorry.
That's okay.
Of the
Probably
Chicago's,
called worse, right?
Chicago's very own Pezband. How you guys doing?
Good.
Real good, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming out.
So let's start off. Let's start off with the early days and tell me how the band first got together. You know,
Well, we first got together out of high school as a jam band.
right?
We were jamming together. Actually, I met him at the young and tender age of 16 years old.
I knew his sister before that when we were in junior high.
He dated my sister for a couple of weeks.
I don't think they're going to call it dating.
Well,
It's more like hanging out on the playground.
yeah, going to the playground. So, but he was a great bass player back then. In fact, he was better than all of us.
He's not that good anymore?
Not anymore. No,
Something
everything's
happened.
gone to hell.
Old age, I don't know.
And we were playing together since back then, you know, since
Wow.
the late 60s, that was.
Right.
1860s. And the band got together, it started out as a little jam band called, it had movable members, you know, every couple of weeks we had a different drummer, we had a different, Mike usually played bass.
Or
Black
Holmes.
Pudding, were you in Black Pudding?
Briefly.
Yeah. So, we had
Yeah, Black Pudding with Dave Green.
Dave Greenwood played drums. Anyway, so that was the thing back then, to have a little jam bands,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And then...
I know.
Yeah, you remember this stuff. Because you guys are from...
We're from the South Side.
I'm sorry. And we're from Oak Park.
Yeah.
And we... So, out of that, we had... The band started to coalesce a little bit more, and we called it Pez. And only because I liked the letter placement, P-E-Z, that, you know...
Right.
That's kind of cool. Nobody does anything. That's really different. And I also like the candies, too. Because they were like hophead pills, but you could eat them.
That's right.
And then after that, then it became Pezband. It was like, let's make it something that only means us.
Right.
It only represents this bunch of people. And that's so we're Pezband.
And so this was 19...
This is about 1970.
yeah. Okay, so by
71.
by 71, you guys were pretty established in...
Yeah, in a sense. And we went out as a four-piece initially. So it was me and Mike and Mick, and John Pazdan was on guitar back then. And we played for about a year together. And we played pizza parlors and little banquet halls and little events like that. And then one winter, Cliff came in. We had known Cliff. We all went to high school together.
Right.
Or
Okay.
Oak Park High. All dupers. And Cliff came in, and we got him into the band.
I see. So, do you still keep in touch with Mike Pazdan or
John Pezband? Yeah, I do.
John Pazdan? I'm sorry.
John, yeah.
Yeah, he and I have traded slots so many times.
Yeah.
Like when he left Off Broadway, I joined Off Broadway.
Right.
Then he was in Pezband playing bass.
Well, I was going to say, because I know you were part of Off Broadway too, correct, Mimi?
Yeah, in the 90s, I
Okay.
played with them.
Oh, okay.
And we started out Black and Blonde,
Oh,
about 1991.
sure.
And Cliff and I did a lot of writing and a lot of recording. We did some pretty good stuff. And we did some studio work. And we had a different drummer. We had Randy Antlip with us at the time. And then Kenny Hark narved in. And
Mike Arturi was
Mark
in there.
Arturi was the first drummer, yeah.
He was in there for a while. And if you know who that guy is, he used to be Chicago-based. Now he's up in...
Yeah.
He works out of Red Wing, Minnesota. But he plays like in the Love and Spoonful
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
and some of the projects he does.
Okay.
So yeah, we had kind of a roundabout different guys, and then when Black and Blonde, then when it came down to be Rob Harding, me, Ken Hark, Mimi, and Cliff, and so we were going around to try and book it, and a couple of the guys who were buyers were like, well, "Why don't you just call it Off Broadway? It'll be a lot easier to sell." We said, "Okay."
Yeah, and it was. And
Right, right.
It sold a lot better, and we got a lot more money.
Right.
Right.
So we went with that for a while.
Well, going back to Pezband now, you released your first album just called Pezband in 1977, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I know now who was doing the writing then? Was it you,
Mick and
Mimi?
myself. Yeah, I did most of the writing.
Yeah.
Had my hand in a lot of that stuff.
Right.
The way the writing went was somebody would come up with a chord progression, and then I would come up with the melody and
Right.
words and
I
so
see.
forth. So yeah, that's the first record.
Well, I know a lot of a couple. One of the songs, "Hold On," has got a McCartney influence. You sound like McCartney on it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got a McCartney influence, and a lot of it has a Beatlesque.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
I thought that song was so corny, but the people, the producers and the record label said, "Well, now we're going to put it on."
Now, what label were you on for the first album?
We were on Passport, ABC Passport.
Right. Okay.
And, we had done, the group had done quite a bit of recording and demo work before that, before we signed, because we really signed in 76.
right. That's when we
started
moved
recording
out
it.
there.
We moved to New Jersey in 77, and by April, we were flying.
Yeah.
It was gone. The record was pressed out in May. We were in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And so things that year of 77 were really flying.
Right. And you worked with Clarence Clemens, I know, and
Yeah, Clarence Clemens was on there, the giant guy.
Randy Brecker.
Yeah, the Brecker brothers were on there. Larry Fast
Oh, okay.
was a synth guy.
guy, right, yeah.
And we really balked all this stuff when they brought us in, and they did. They said, it was really kind of the first time we had done professional recording stuff. We had done demos, and it was all kind of on our own.
Right.
And we'd done home recordings on the TAC 4-track.
Right.
I got pounds of tape back here like that.
Yeah, we used to record on South Michigan Avenue, and there were all those studios down there.
Right.
We had some guys.
CRC and
Well, this was one place was Unique Audio, which had been in business forever, and I think they were kind of on their last legs.
Right.
These guys we knew said, "Well, we'll take you in here, and we'll record." But it was just us. And by the time we started doing that first record, they were like, "Okay, well, we're going to bring in this thing, and we're going to have horns, we're going to have all this stuff."
The Passport record he's talking about.
Yeah.
right.
This '77 record,
Yeah.
and it was a little. We were a little.
Yeah, so, they bring us in and there's strings on Please Be Somewhere Tonight has a string section. Strings?
Yeah.
Right.
We're a rock band.
Right.
We play Marshalls and Les Pauls. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But
We went with it because it was like, well, okay, maybe, okay.
Well, you were probably a little naive at the time too, right? I mean,
oh yeah, if they
like
told
you
us
said,
to, if you'd be better if you stand on your head and play this, and we'll get a great recording out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only 25 years old,
Right.
Sure.
and but that's how that went, and that year was monumental for us. So things were just going at a breakneck pace.
Right.
So, we hear the mixes. Okay, all right. What's next? And
Yeah.
How were sales of that album? Did the album sell well?
no,
No.
didn't sell very much. None of the records sold very much because there wasn't a lot of money behind it.
Okay.
Because the records were done for a very low budget. It was a very small label. See, Passport was sisters with Sire Records. They were like this.
Okay.
They both had the same distribution, but Sire had a little bit more money, and they had the Talking Heads. And I remember going up into the office with it, said, here's the latest record from Sire, and it was Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
Escase. And I thought, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is awful, man. This is awful. We had Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah.
Please Be Somewhere Tonight. We had these big, hard records. And Psycho Killer?
The darlings of Manhattan.
They were, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so, what happened? Well, we opened for them. We opened for Blondie. We shared bills at Max's Kansas City because it was all connected. And since we lived in New Jersey at the time, we were
Play New York.
we were 30 minutes
Right,
from the
right.
city. So we played all over the place. And then we went all up and down the coast. And it was, it was really great. We had a great couple of years there, 3 years.
I like Gas Grilled myself.
You like great? Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a good song.
Yeah, which was actually a place.
Oh, it was?
It was an actual place, but it was just a bar. It was called the Gas Grill.
Right.
And we would pass it all the time going home to our little rented place.
Mm-hmm.
But, back then, and then still maybe today, but all the bars out there, they had like a cheap beer, 25-cent beer, and they had a grill. And you could order a hamburger and fries. And it was really great for us because for a few bucks, we'd get tanked and fed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I met her. That's where I met her at the old gas grill. She came up to me. She came up to me. Can I dance with you? We talked a while. We talked a while. She said, stay, stay, won't you stay? Take me to the old gas grill. Take me to the old gas grill. It's just gotta be the old gas.
So, I picked up the title from there, So I made it about, some girl that I'm, and I had a girlfriend out there. And, in the song, I pretend to
meet her at the gas grill.
Yeah, I'm going to meet you at the gas grill, and everything's going to be wonderful at the gas grill. And, we're going to have children at the gas grill.
Did you say you were out there for like a couple of years?
About almost 3 years.
Okay, but now 78 came around and you did Laughing in the Dark. And
that actually was 77.
Oh, that was?
So that's what I mean. That year, that first year, it was just like, here you go, guys, and bang, off we went.
So you recorded it at the same place out there?
No, then we
recorded that at a place called Moulin Rouge in London.
Oh, okay.
And it was owned by Ian Anderson. And they had it was his own freestanding building in a section of town called Fulham Broadway. And it had its own little parking lot. And they had a kitchen. They had a lounge. They had like a mixing suite. They had a big studio room. Then these big other lounges. Then the hash smoking area. and then one of the guys who ran it was an original roadie for Jethro Tull. Wow. He said, "Hey, let's go over here." And then we'd be watching the news. Do you know what an MP is? Military police? No, member of parliament. Yeah. This guy's an asshole. There you go. So it was a really cool thing. We were there on Thanksgiving, and the cook that worked there full time, this girl, did a full traditional American Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow, because they don't have Thanksgiving.
Right. So she studied up on it, and it was like for 14 people, and just laid out, and we're like, oh my God. Said, I thought he'd be him. Well, thank you. And we saw some characters come through there. The guys from the Split Ends came in there checking the studio out, and they're walking around in green iridescent suits and their hair going like this. It's 12 in the afternoon. And hello.
And what's his name? The guy from Genesis. He was in there.
One of those guys. Alex Harvey had just left, and
wow, Alex Harvey.
And the engineer was like, "Wow, what a weird dude, man. He was not a good guy, not a bad guy. Yeah. He didn't talk at all. He just stayed in the studio room."
Wow.
And kind of like, ugh. But then when it came to time to sing, he was great.
Yeah. Wow. So, what about Laughing in the Dark then? Did you come back to the States then, or did you tour over there?
We played over there, but we didn't tour. We just played a place in London.
Okay.
And the people from there's so many Americans in London that we would run into these people from New York, like the girl who sold shirts at Barney's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing here? Oh, I come here about twice a month, just to look around. Really? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So but that's how that went. It was a great year.
Yeah.
We moved to New Jersey. We did our first genuine LP. We started touring all over the place. In January, we were on a plane to London, and then we came back to Jersey, and then we promoted both records. We did in-store after in-store all up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
We did a TV show. We were on the Today Show.
Right.
There's all kinds of great stuff.
We played malls.
We played malls. We played everywhere.
People would be like, it's the middle of the day and we're playing.
Yeah.
And that was to promote the record.
Right. Now that was four of you in the band, right? With Tommy.
That was the four-piece.
Tommy,
Tommy,
that was the four of us.
Right.
The four-piece made the headway.
Right. And now you still talk to Tommy?
Yeah, he's everything's fine. He's just not really into this whole. He's like, oh, that's fine, guys. And he said, as he told me, he said, I have a quiet, peaceful life. And that's how I want to keep it.
He played the loudest of all of us. And I emailed him and said, Tommy, people want to get this reunion thing, would you be interested? He said, well, I am, but I really kind of live a real quiet, peaceful life. He owns a sound installation.
Right. I saw him probably 15. I can't remember where it was. Probably good 15 years ago, and he was installing something somewhere, and I just happened to walk in there and talk to him for a few minutes, but he was off doing his thing.
Yeah, he's fine, but he wasn't into all this. He was like, when the first time that the Japanese label wanted to re-release, this is like 10 years ago or more, wanted to re-release some Pezband stuff.
Right.
He called me up and said, "Do you want to deal with this?" And I'm like, "Well, okay." But because Mimi and I have always been in touch, but the band wasn't really in touch too much. So I started talking to the guy, Hiroshi, and Tommy just wasn't. He's just like, no,
Yeah. Well, that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. But
so then tell me. Well, first of all, on "Laughing in the Dark," you had "Stop Wait a Minute," which is a great song, and that one seemed to start to catch on, didn't it?
Yeah, that is a power pop classic.
Yeah,
that one.
Rain falling in my heart, forcing us apart, can't last forever. You say you love me so, deep inside I know you're so deceiving. Stop, wait a minute, baby. Stop, wait a minute, darling. What you do is gonna hurt me. Darling, what we had, you're gonna ruin. Turn around and
John Pavlotic and I are going to remaster that record.
Oh, okay.
Probably this summer. We're going to get to that. And Stop Wait a Minute is top on the list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It just has that kind of sound
Right.
to it. It's it's a marker. It's a marker song.
Right.
And when I go back and listen to some of the stuff we did back then, for one thing, I can't believe how fast we went. The tempos we did everything at. It was the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything was fast.
That's how everything was. Yeah. Now, they'd be compared to the Knack and the Cars and stuff like. I mean, does that bother you? Or it does?
It bothers me.
It doesn't bother me.
No.
I think it's just all guys in the same age group who came up with the same stuff.
Yeah.
And they all came up with.
Well, you see where it bothers you because you didn't get the popularity that they got.
Well,
which is a shame. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a money thing,
Right.
Those guys had money behind them.
Right.
We didn't have money behind us. Our like I said, our budget was very low, and it was not going to be expanded upon. And I think one of the things that really irritated me was the look that we had, that Pezband look, that black and white cover.
All right.
That was ours. And then everybody copied that.
Right.
The Knack, Cheap Trick, all those other bands, they all came after what we put down first.
Right.
And I don't mean to sound conceited about it, but that's the way it was,
Right.
Sure.
Well, I remember seeing you guys at the South Side at Harlow's. I mean, when you play Harlow's.
Remember that place?
Oh, yeah. And it's a Cleaners now or something.
Right.
I'm thinking if the walls of that place could talk, boy, the stories it could tell, But
a lot of nice South Side chicks down there.
Yeah. Yep, it sure was. And but speaking of that, now are you guys? I know you did a show at the Arcada.
As a 3
2 years ago.
That was the three-piece Pezband with John Pazdan.
Yeah, so John was playing bass with that.
Oh, okay.
That one.
He was. Oh, okay. Now, have you got any plans on playing and doing any shows or anything?
We talked about it, but for one, Tommy's not interested.
Right.
And Mick, the drummer, lives in Tampa. So there's a logistical thing there. And then it would be, how much do we want to spend to put it together? Because it takes money to put it together.
Oh, sure.
And, we don't want to be rehearsing down here, and we're going to need help doing it.
Right.
So we've talked about it, but I don't know. We kind of left it because it's just like, well...
A friend of mine we have a guitar player that will fit in, a fellow named Ned Babb, who's worked with me before. A great guitar player. He's blonde. He's taller than Tommy, but he can fit the bill. But the band would need a couple of weeks of rehearsal, and there was a lot to go into it.
Oh, sure.
So
I don't know.
Right now, it's kind of off.
Nothing in the plans right now, right? No. That's a shame because I know I know you guys would have a good crowd. I mean, you really pack in some places. I know that.
But right around here, we probably would.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald's or something like that.
Right.
Well, the name, everybody knows the name. I mean, we're talking on the way up here, and I mentioned this. Back in the late 70s, beginning of the 80s, you guys were the shit. I mean, Pezband was the band out there. I mean, you guys were setting the level for everybody. I mean, everybody knew who you were. Everybody wanted to go see you, and then you kind of just went away.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people from back then, it's hard getting people out to clubs now. It's hard getting people to come out.
Yeah.
And I'm doing dates with in this band I'm in called The Outfit. We do dates with these heavy rock bands, and the opening bands, we'll go to Fort Wayne or Eau Claire or something like that, and we're playing with bands like Soil and Fa, and their crowds are younger, and they get them out, and those people come and they want to have some fun, so that works.
Right.
And I also like meeting up with. Then there's be another couple of local bands, and the farther down the bill you are, the younger they get.
Oh yeah.
And one kid's like, "Hey, Mister, your bass sounds really good." Thank you, son. Don't you have some homework to do? But it's hard.
Give me a beer. Oh, you're not old enough.
Yeah. It's hard to get people to come out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is tough.
And there's not that many venues anymore.
And that's another thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you look through some of the posts on Facebook, or a lot of the old entertainer posts, and there were. I mean, bands were playing 5 nights a week, 6 nights, 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
You go see Pezband on a Tuesday somewhere or something.
Exactly, and the place would be packed.
Oh, yeah.
The Arcata show, that was the last time you guys ever got together?
Mm-hmm.
That was the last show you guys did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had the trio going.
Right.
And that, it was really good. And they took it to Japan and did some other dates. And then, at one point, Kenny Hark was playing drums in it because Mick couldn't make it. And that trio was really good.
Going to Japan was really exciting. The Japanese power pop fans are like you have never seen. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
They just slam the stage and they sing along. I mean, they sing along with every song.
Right.
Baby, I cold outside.
Yeah.
Wow, this was too much.
Yeah, that's great though. I mean that there's such a need for that or a want for that.
There's a big power pop scene there, but they take it to a different level though. It's like power pop punk almost. Mm-hmm. Some of them, and they're really raucous and they're really genuine and they're very into it.
Well, that's Japan made Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
Locally, we all knew Cheap Trick because they're from around here, and we all liked them. But nationally, they really didn't get much recognition until they went to Japan.
Right.
Japan was crazy about it. Right. Budokan came out. Then they went crazy here in their country. So
that was it.
So tell us about Cover to Cover. You started telling us before we started recording about Cover to Cover, and that
we did
got a
right
remix,
here.
Right?
And with John Pavletic, and he brought in a tape deck, and we rented a house in LaGrange.
Well, that's the initial recording, yeah.
The initial one.
Yeah, in '79.
So was that with Passport Records too, or no?
Yeah, that was the last. The Passport
so you did all
record.
3 of them with Passport, right?
Passport was 3 LPs and 2 EPs.
Oh, okay.
That was the deal.
Right.
So our last deal, we ran out of money in the East. So we left New Jersey, we came back here, and we started recording Cover to Cover.
I see. Okay. And now you've just remixed that, and recently
So yeah, I had the 2-inch tape right here because I archive everything.
Right.
Everything. Like those cassettes right there was all live Pezband stuff.
Wow.
So that's another record there.
Yeah.
And so I took the 2-inch tape and down to Wall to Wall Studios downtown, which is now gone, but and they baked it and digitized it, and took it over to John. John lives down in Brookfield, in Lyons, and said, what do you think? And he went after it because that was his baby.
Right.
It was done at his studio. He was very involved. He did cover to cover. He did 30 Seconds Over Schomburg. He's done all kinds of stuff with me, all kinds of solo material. But that record was really his little baby, and he took about 8-9 months, mixing it, remastering it. It was just phenomenal, and it sounds great.
It does sound real good. This on Gem Records, right? The remix?
Yeah, so the way it got out was Marty Scott through Facebook, and he called me up, why don't we do something again? Yeah, well, I don't know.
And Marty Scott was who?
He was he was Gem Records. He was Passport Records.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And he's still in the business. And Gem was an importer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that's how he got started in the business. As college guys, they would import cool rock stuff mainly from England, and then he got started this label Passport, but he's kind of kept Gem going, and then now he put a label called Gem. There's Gem Imports and then the label called Gem.
I see.
And it's all, and he's got some new releases coming out.
Lots.
I got to hand it to him, man, to be able to make a go of it in today's world, market.
And so Marty said, "Why don't we do something? It'll be a 40-year anniversary at 79, and it would be really good if we put something out."
Right.
I said, "Well, okay, the record's almost done." I sent him some mixes, and he said, "Well, it sounds great. There's no money, but we did a little deal with Marty again.
And re-release it, yeah.
Yeah. So off it went, and it's gotten some great reviews. People really like it, and it's on the internet radio charts.
Right.
And we're very proud of it, and it sounds really great. John did just a bang-up job.
It does sound good. I've listened to the whole album
so punchy.
a few times, and, yeah.
Compared to, have you listened to the original?
The original, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, it doesn't sound anything like the original.
And you're saying you're going to remaster the other albums too?
Yeah. Well, the first Pazband record, John has remastered that.
Okay.
That's done.
That's done.
That's in the can. Now, Laughing in the Dark, the original tapes to that can't be found. We don't have them. All we have is the Japanese import. So we have to take that, put it into Pro Tools, and do weeks and weeks of EQing and adjusting and timing. And I don't know if we can make it sound quite as good as cover to cover, but it might be close. See, with cover to cover, we had each track. We had the overheads, the bass direct, the bass live.
Yeah, all 24 tracks.
Right.
Yeah. So it.
Now for the EPs, do you have the masters of the EPs?
I have 30 Seconds over Schomburg. I have that, I have that one here. But we don't have Live at Dingwall's. That's another one that probably could be remastered.
And you mentioned internet radio. I know, excuse me, I know Boris Bowden plays his stuff quite a bit. I know he's been playing African Nights quite a bit.
Oh, that song sounds so good.
He also got a hold of what's considered a Black and Blonde song. And I saw it on one of his charts somewhere in there. And it's called...
You said what you said.
You said what you said.
I sent it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent it. He messaged me and said, do you have... I remember the song that you guys did. It was the early 90s.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I have it. I have a mix, and I sent it to him.
Cool. Now, Boris used to see at Harlow's as well.
Yeah.
That's where Boris used to hang out there, yeah. Yeah, he was the guy that was in there. He was in there 7 nights a week, too. Yeah.
Really?
But, oh, yeah. I want to mention Glory Sarna, who helped us set this up with you guys today. And thank her for getting us in touch with you guys.
Well, thank you, Glory. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a gal.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So where can we find you now? Besides on the internet radio and stuff, but I mean, you guys have a Facebook page.
You can find us shopping at Jewel. Yeah, we have the Facebook page. We have official Pezband.com.
Okay.
It has the song. It has Stella Blue on there, and it has an ad for the record on there. And I have a website, popmusic.com, which all my solo stuff is on.
Right.
And the record can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon.
Right.
It's got a lot of distribution, so it's available.
Do you have any hard copies, or is it just?
Yeah, it's hard copy.
There's a hard copy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you talked about your original stuff, or your solo stuff. Has any of that been released?
Oh yeah. I've released a lot of it. Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you some. I have a whole box of stuff. It sells. It's on CD Baby.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, my stuff gets played around. It gets in Sweden and the UK.
And is it just under Mimi?
Mimi Betinis. That's it.
You got anything going on, Mike?
Yeah, I'm playing in a band called The Outfit, which is on Pavement Records, and they got one record out. They got one single up into the Billboard Top 40 to 36 or 38 last year.
Still top 40.
And then we're putting a new record out at the beginning of next year. And we play dates like we do our own shows. We play like the Rock House in West Dundee.
Right. Thank you.
And if I don't have any copies, but I'm glad there are hard copies. And if you got an address, I'll send you one.
All right. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So what kind of music is the outfit?
It's like hard. It's 2 guitars, bass, and drums. Hard rock.
Okay.
And the titles are like Vikings, Wolves, and we
Dragons.
Pardon?
Dragons.
We're getting to that.
You got to jump on the Game of Thrones.
One of the cover songs we do, which we're going to put out as on the record, is Midnight Moses, and it's by Alex Harvey Band.
Oh, there you go. There's Alex Harvey reference again.
One of our encores is God Save the Queen, but it's played. Everything's played. It's like Les Pauls and Marshalls, loud, constantly.
That's the Sex Pistols version, right?
Oh,
God Save the Queen. She ain't no human being.
I had a question from Glory's husband. He wanted to know what happened to the old Tiger Top Les Pauls that you had.
There's one of them there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I sold it.
Oh.
And this is what I had in 1973.
Yeah, that's probably what he remembers.
That's it. It's a 58.
Oh, wow. I know. I know. I feel the same way.
You weren't thinking that at that time. But
I had 3 Pauls and I got rid of them all, and now
Everybody's got that story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was good talking with you guys.
Yeah, it's
Well,
great.
thank you so much.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks for having us in and talking about this, and hopefully maybe we'll get to see you guys soon and somewhere out there.
We'll never know. Something might come through.
We'll start a GoFundMe page.
Fund our one date.
Oh, we'll plow through that money.
Yeah.
All righty, guys. Thanks a lot.
So, hey, Ray, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You know who else likes Pez? My girlfriend, Stella Blue.
Oh, does she?
She loves Pez. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
And
does she love Pezband, though?
She loves Pezband, too. She loves them, too, but
Yeah.
she loves that Pez. That was a lot of fun. Great hearing from Mimi and Mike. That was a ball.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Got some good insight into the band,
Definitely.
and what they were doing back in the 70s and early 80s.
Yeah, it's hard to remember what happened in the 70s, but they were right on the spot. Most of us don't remember that.
Maybe hard for you.
Yeah, it might be a little bit hard for me, but some of it is coming back. Some of it is. I still remembered Pez, so I'm still pretty good with that.
Yes, and as long as you remember Pezband.
I remember Pezband.
So be sure to check them out. Go to their website. Go to their
The original Pezband.com.
Yes.
Their Facebook page. Their album is on Amazon and iTunes,
Right.
cover to cover. That's a great album.
Pick it up. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
You definitely enjoy it. So until then, I guess we'll see you guys next week, huh?
We'll see you next time.
Now I'm going to go get some Pez right now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You do that.
Rock and roll Chicago.